If you have a penchant for aviation and realism, then MS Games and MK Studios and publishers Iceberg Interactive have just recently launched their pre-alpha demo on Steam. Before I show you any footage, I would really appreciate it if you could just take 10 seconds to hit that like button and leave a comment telling me what you think about this pre-alpha demo. Personally, I'm completely won over, and I'm going to tell you exactly what you can expect in the full game. So in the full game, releasing in Q3 2023 or thereafter, there are going to be 4 different game modes: free roam, scenario, challenge and co-op, and I think they intertwine ever so slightly. You will be playing a ground crew member, and you can expect to manage and complete a full turnaround for either of the 2 included aircraft. That's a Boeing 737-800 and an Airbus A320neo. There may be more planes added later on via DLC, and I really hope they do. Each list of jobs that have to be completed are tracked and directed via the in-game tablet. It's incredibly intuitive and it works really well. So a complete turnaround will include, among other things, setting the wheel chocks and placing the cones, transporting, connecting and starting the GPU or disconnecting the GPU from the aircraft, connecting and unlocking passenger stairs, loading and unloading passenger luggage, refueling, pushbacks and marshalling and passenger transportation. Now, not all of that is available in the demo, but all of that will be available in the full game. Additionally, you will be using multiple licensed ground vehicles with accurate blueprint-led modelling and very, I have to say, realistic physics. And that consists of manual aviation of certain machinery and controls, both on the aircraft and on ground vehicles themselves. Now there's going to be 4 or 5, I'm not 100% sure because there's a bit of discrepancy on the website and on Steam, but 4 or 5 faithfully recreated airports including Warsaw, Chopin, Warsaw, Chopin, Vega, Keflavik, Key West and Frankfurt. If I've mispronounced any of those, I do apologise. They've also confirmed that more airports will be released as DLC. So what we can see already, despite this being a pre-alpha demo, are some very accurate real-life night and day lighting effects and accurate METAR-led weather conditions. That includes rain, snow and fog, among other conditions. These conditions could greatly affect your routine. They may include the need for heaters, windscreen wipers, and it will change the way that vehicles grip, and the physics will be altered if it's icy, for example. This could cause delays to arrivals, but it is your job as ground crew to ensure that there are no delays on those departures. In this short pre-alpha demo, I was able to see the very, very high level of simulation detail and quality that will be on offer in the final game. Quite often it's the small things in simulators which really show just how dedicated the dev team are. And just one of the things that really impressed me were the physics of the luggage. Furthermore, the physics on rubber slats interacting with the luggage on the conveyor belt. You can even mishandle the luggage and cause them to spring open, chucking their contents all over the floor. They really have gone above and beyond the Call of Duty on this one. Despite the pre-alpha condition of this demo, I have been absolutely blown away with every single aspect, especially the aircraft modelling, the lighting and the weather conditions. We've got splashing puddles and water droplets which are just superb for immersion purposes. Not forgetting the ability to remove your protective ear defenders and hear just how loud some of these engines are. What happens if I get in the haze? What happens if I take the headphones off? Yeah, that's kind of what you wanted. Now, it might not be 1,000,000% realistic in every single stretch of the imagination, but I think it delivers more than enough in terms of realism to really give you that authentic feel that working in a location like this, doing a job like this, would give you. In addition, at launch there will be a Steam workshop. Unfortunately, creating skins and scenarios appear to be the only options there. There's no mention of vehicles, planes or airports, which is a bit of a shame, and hopefully that will change, but I suspect skins and scenarios are probably the best that we can expect to see. So this is a pre-alpha demo, so none of the missing features or issues that I encountered are of any kind of great concern at this stage. I'm merely highlighting them because as a reviewer, it's my job to do so, basically. The first thing that really irritated me was, why can't I pick up more than one cone? By design, cones stack, so you should be able to pick up at least 3 or 4. I know they can get quite heavy, but if we could just pick up 3 or 4 at a time, then the job where we lay the cones out would be a lot easier to do and a lot more fun, to be quite honest with you. They allow us to pick up the big heavy chocks in Multitude, so why they don't do it with the cones is beyond me. Furthermore, I found the run button on L3 to be quite uncomfortable to hold for long periods of time. I would suggest to the dev team that they consider swapping this to be a toggle instead of a press and hold option. There are no passengers visible anywhere at any time, and the stairs truck could benefit from a sunroof to help you line it up a little bit easier. I think the tutorial could benefit with a go back option as well as a next button, and it probably would benefit from having the controls displayed either all the time or available at all times during the tutorial as well. There were a few issues with my Xbox controller. The keybinds from that did not in any way coincide with the tutorial, but this is a pre-alpha, so we can let things like that pass without worrying about it too much. The performance I received in terms of gameplay running at 4K 60 FPS was absolutely fine, and it was fine right up until it started raining. Maybe it was the puddles, the water droplet animations on the windscreens, or it could have been the fact that there were multiple aircraft taxiing all over the place. It could just be that because I was trying to record at 4K 60 FPS, my old knackered hard drive just couldn't keep up with it. But yeah, the performance was very impressive at 4K 60 FPS in terms of playing the game. Recording it, as you'll see from some of my footage, was a little bit choppy. So I've already mentioned there were some limited controller support issues. So far, from what I've seen, there were no keybind adjustment options. That will almost certainly be in the final release. Along with, I hope, support for wheels, pedals and head tracking. At the moment, I don't believe any of these are working, but my current system, my current configuration didn't allow me to check for that. So I'm going to put that in as a missing feature with the hope that it's either already there or will be there in the future. The one available scenario in the demo is not overly robust at the moment. There's, I think you would argue, some logic bugs. If you by accident do something out of order in terms of what was requested, then it's enough to break the process completely, and you won't be able to complete a turnaround process because of one mistake that you made. I found that the time skip feature was a little bit clunky, a little bit confusing, and that sort of contributed to the mistake that I had, and there didn't seem to be any way of fixing that despite my best efforts. So yeah, a little bit more work on the tutorial or the guidance or the ability for people to do things slightly out of order and not break the entire game would be good. In terms of audio, I'd say what is present is actually superb. Unfortunately, there are quite a few areas where audio is missing, so there's a lot of gaps that could be filled with audio, and hopefully that will be something we'll see at full release. So I'd just like to say a massive thank you to MS Games and MK Studios. They have delivered what would be one of my dream jobs, and they've done it in such a realistic way that I cannot even realistically begin to express just how excited I am to see the final release in Q3 2023. I would desperately love to hear your thoughts on this one. It's really ticking an enormous number of boxes for me, and I'm so excited to see what they can do with it long term. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to hit that like button, leave a comment in the comment section below. Take care of yourselves until next time.